Hey everybody, it's Randy with Randy Reviews and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an update on my eyeshadow Project Pan challenge. And basically what I've been doing is picking one of my palettes to focus on and using it for at least 50 times before I move on to another palette. I started with my newest and biggest palette. It's this Harry Potter by ColourPop palette, and I used it 50 times, and the objective is just to see if I want to keep that palette, use it for more times, or if I want to declutter it. So obviously I'm keeping that one because that was a new palette and I love it. So that one's staying. After that, I started with this palette. It is called the Riviera palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And it looks like this. It's 14 shadows, 6 shimmery, and 8 matte. And so I'm on my last few uses of this palette, so I want to pick my next one to move into, and I want to give a quick review of this palette. So this palette is super old. I've probably had it for 7 or 8 years now. And I honestly hadn't got much use out of it outside of this color, which I'm actually hitting pan on. And I believe this is literally the only eyeshadow in my entire collection that I have hit pan on right now. But before this challenge, I had only really used this shadow. Now, after using it almost 50 times, I use pretty much every color except for this white and this gold. And the reason I haven't used that yellow gold is because it's just super yellow, and I prefer more of like a um brassy gold or something similar to like this. Let me show you. So like this kind of gold, that's the kind of gold that I think looks better on my skin tone. So that's why I didn't use that color. And then the white is like, girl, I don't need no white. Like, what am I using the white for? It's way too stark to use as a underbrow highlight. Maybe in the inner corner I could have used it, but I thought that these two colors were pretty good as brow highlights, so that's what I used. Um, Overall, I enjoyed using this palette because the colors are super silky and smooth. The shimmers are easy to blend out and pile on, and the mattes go on like butter. So that's what I really enjoyed about it. I really enjoyed using this color, obviously, this pink right here, and then this color, which was surprisingly more of like a lavender lilac color versus silver, which is what I thought it was. So I really like using those colors. But I thought that this palette was just way too heavy on the pinks. As you can see, the center is pretty much pinks. This is like a peachy pink, but then this is a bright pink, mid-tone pink, shimmery pink, and then this is like a light peachy pink. So it's like almost five colors in the same family. Is just a bit much for me for palette that I'm trying to use on an everyday basis, because it's like I ain't wearing that much pink. You know what I'm saying? So I did quite a few looks with those pinks. I think I did 3 or 4 looks. As you can see, I'm wearing pink right now. That's from this palette that was this color over my lids. But yeah, I had to figure out a way to get usage out of this palette, because it was just a lot of pink. It's not that many neutrals outside of this color and this gold, which I wouldn't even consider it as an actual neutral, but it's not that many neutrals. The brown was great. It worked with pretty much every color that any eyeshadow look I did. I could use that brown for the crease. But yeah, it was just kind of hard to make like really interesting colors. By the end of this challenge, I was ready to move on to a new palette. I'm going to keep this palette because I still think I could use it again. I want to pan this color before the year is out. So that's a separate challenge that I'm doing on my own, outside of this. But ultimately, I think that I could get some more uses out of this before decluttering it. So I'm going to keep it and, roll it out, but I'm going to keep it. So that's that. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 other palettes to choose from. Oh crap. Maybe 4 because this one might have broke. Let me look if any damage is done. Not more than what was already done. So I have 5 palettes currently that I want to roll in. Now, 2 of them I would roll in at the same time because they are by the same company and they're like single eyeshadows. So I will roll those in together. So let me show you what my options are. The first one is this Ultimate Paradise Shock palette by NYX, and it looks like this. As you can see, 2 colors are already missing because they literally just broke out. Like, I think I was carrying this as a travel palette and I took it out of my bag and they were both just gone. They happened at 2 separate times. So that's why I took this out of my travel kit, because I was like, yeah, these shadows is too loose. And then I think this one broke as well from that. Cause that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that broke at 1.2 from travel. So minus those 2, we have 3, 7, 10, 14 colors. And then the ones that are outlined in this red are technically not eyeshadows. I hate these palettes and I would never buy these palettes again because I bought it with the purpose of wearing this as a red. And then when I got it, I realized that you're not supposed to put it on your eyes. But I think I am. If I put on a primer and a, a shadow stick or something underneath to kind of block it from touching my eyelid, I think I'll be fine. But yeah, you're not supposed to use 1, 2, 3 as eyeshadow. So that will only leave these colors. So this is the first option. The second option, which is not a big palette at all, is this Butter London palette. And it looks like this. And I got this as part of one of those glam boxes or Ipsy boxes or whatever, around 2019, I believe, like early 2019. So I've had this palette for over 7 years, and it does have some usage. Like this color right here has a lot of usage. The green has some, and the gold has some. Um, the brown and blue, I've used the brown a lot too. You can't really tell. That blue I probably used once or twice. But that's that. It's only 6 shadows though, so that's what's making me leery of choosing this one, because then I would be stuck trying to figure out a whole bunch of ways to wear this 6 pan shadow. Now don't get me wrong, I can pull in other colors from other palettes, but the purpose of the challenge is to get, usage out of these. So if I got to pull in, a whole bunch of other shadows from other palettes, it kind of defeats the purpose. So that's my second choice. My third choice is my oldest palette, which is the Naked by Urban Decay palette, the original, y'all. The very first. Like, this mug falling apart. Look, I just noticed this today. Hold on, where is it at? Look at that. It's coming apart because this palette is literally 15, 16 years old. I'm pretty sure I got this in 2010 when it first dropped. If it dropped in 2010, yeah, I got this in 2010. So this palette is 16 years old and it's still pretty full, especially these colors down here. This gold right here is probably the most worn because it's like my favorite all over type of color. It's very similar to that color that was just in that other palette that I was using. So that one, this bright gold, has quite a bit of usage. And then this medium brown has a little bit of usage. But these lighter colors and these darker colors are pretty full. So that could be a choice. But once again, it's no fun colors. And it's about to be summer. Like where I'm at, it's warm already. And I do like to wear a lot of bright eyeshadows in the summer. So that's something to think about if I decide to choose this palette. And eventually I will get to each of these. I want to do this challenge with all of these palettes, but I'm just saying for my next one, which one do I want to choose? And then the next two I would do together is my Inglot Freedom Sisted palettes. I have a 3 eyeshadow one and then a 5 eyeshadow one. And Inglot is a brand. I don't know if it was a German brand or where the brand came from, but it was a brand back in, I would say, 2008, 2009 that was very popular on YouTube, and it influenced me to get some Inglot shadows. I actually went to Chicago for a little day trip, and they had a store there. I think they had it either, no, they had a flagship store there. And so I got my first 5 shadow palette from that Inglot. And then I think I went to New York and I went inside of Macy's or somewhere and got this 3 one. And I don't remember which ones I got first because I've switched them around a bit. But these are the colors I have. I have orange, a black. That black is a matte black, yellow, dark purple, silver, rose gold, brown, and then this blue. And as you can see, most of these shadows I barely have touched. On this 5 one, I don't think I've used these a dozen times altogether. You can see the orange and yellow has a little bit off the top. The black looked like I ain't even touched it. The purple I barely touched. And this silver I barely touched. These, which is why they ended up in here, was ones that I used a little bit more. So that brown and that blue I have used quite a bit. The rose gold I really haven't used a lot either. So I thought this one might be a good one because these are pretty old. These are my second oldest eyeshadows that I still have to date. And it does have a little variety with the yellow and orange and purple, but then I have neutrals like the rose gold and brown. So this is an option. Now let me see, what do I want to try to use? I'm gonna put the naked back. I already know I don't want to try to use this right now. I feel like this would be more better for fall because of the color palette. I think I'm gonna put the Butter London one back as well because it's just not enough shadows for me to play around with. So I don't want to have to force myself to just be doing the same color every day. So it's between this NYX Ultimate Paradise and these 2 Inglot shadows. So let's see. Let's compare. So this one has a blue, kind of this grayish color. It has a bright yellow. It has a marigold color. It has this orange. It has a couple pinks. And then it has quite a few neutrals. So this could be a good one. And then my 2 Inglots, like I said, they have a couple colorful ones and then a couple neutrals that I could play around. And then I could add in if I needed to add in. So I think I'm gonna actually go with these because they so old and I just haven't shown them enough love. So I want to, get some wear into them and see if I even want to keep these going forward. And then I don't really like this NYX palette like that. I kept it because I had already messed it up when those shadows fell out of it, but I don't remember the eyeshadows being that great either. It looks like really I've only worn this one multiple times. I think I wore the other ones that fell out a couple times too, or broke out rather. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start with my Inglot. So my goal once again is to use these 2 palettes, and I'm gonna combine the counts. I'm not gonna separate them because I'm using them as one palette basically. But my goal is to use these palettes at least 50 times. And 50 times for me is every time I use one color. So if I do a look and I use 4 eyeshadows, that's 4 times that I would count this as being used. I wouldn't say, one look is one use because it would take me forever to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like forever. I don't wear makeup every day. So, if I did it that way, it probably would take me at least like 4 or 5 months, and then it would take the fun out of this for me, because the goal is to get some usage, like get excited about doing my makeup again and get excited about playing around, but I don't want to feel like I'm stuck. So I feel like doing it the way that I've been doing it has been working well for me. And then it's also been allowing me to be like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this. I didn't get all of what I wanted to get out of it. And if I get all I want to get out of it, then that means I need to declutter it. So these are the two I'm gonna go with. And I'll probably do some looks, some quick short looks or something to show you how I use this. This is giving Halloween. And I don't know why I picked these colors. I remember these three for sure were the first Inglot shadows that I got when I went to Chicago. And I don't know why. Why did I do that? Maybe I was trying to fill a void based on what other eyeshadows I already had. And I was like, oh, I don't have an orange or a yellow or a true black. But now it's giving Halloween, it's giving candy corn, and all of the things. But I think I can work with it. I know this silver is kind of like a bluish silver. That's why I didn't like it, because it kind of turns blue on your eyelid. But I know I love this blue and I love this brown. This brown has like some blue sparkle in it, if you could see that. But when you put it on, it blends with everything. And so, yeah, looking forward to making some things, some cute looks with that. So that's all I got for this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.